In beautiful Stafford, Virginia, the greens and fairways are just the beginning. Discover our scenic trails, paddle our rivers, and enjoy nature's grandeur. Your taste buds will thank you as you visit our award-winning breweries and wineries. In Stafford, the history, stories, and legends of America's past are waiting to be discovered. Whether you're chasing outdoor adventure, family fun, or a place to unwind, Stafford has it all. Just off I-95 and closer than you think. Plan your visit at tourstaffordva.com. Stafford, where your story starts.
He's a blue-collar golfer from a blue-collar town. Doesn't know what he's lost, doesn't know what he's found. People say, boy, gotta leave this town. Gonna make it big, gonna make it big someday. He's not a dreamer, he's a country boy. On his first birthday, he got clubs he called toys. Practiced real hard in his young life. Played all day, damn near through the night. He's a blue-collar golfer from a blue-collar town. Doesn't know what he's lost, doesn't know what he's found. People said, boy, you've gotta leave this town. Gonna make it big, gonna make it big someday. Somehow. When he was 6, people said, look at that. This young kid's got a swing like jazz. Everyone said his swing was way too long. Now his life is like a #1 song. He's a blue-collar golfer from a blue-collar town. Doesn't know what he's lost, doesn't know what he's found. People said, boy, you've gotta leave this town. Gonna make it big, gonna make it big someday. Gonna make it big, gonna make it big someday. My children mean the world to me. That's why I live so true and so free. Thanks to my true friends and family, especially my brother, always standing by me.
Welcome back to the Golfing Around Radio Hour. I'm your host, Tank. Thanks for joining me. If you're a golf nut, boy, you got to the right place today to listen in. If you are a cigar lover, you've come to the right place. If you want to go to St. Andrews, it's the right place to be today. So listen up. I'm going to give you a couple websites. Go to usascotlandgolf.com, usascotlandgolf.com. One more time, usascotlandgolf.com. Listen up, hackers and amateur golfers. You could win a trip to St. Andrews, Scotland to be a member of Team USA. Join us this July in beautiful Stafford, Virginia for the 5th annual Team USA National Championships. You do not need a USGA GIN handicap to compete to win one of 5 spots to win a trip to St. Andrews. usascotlandgolf.com. Now, I'm going to tell you something else, Steve. You listen in too, Steve, okay?
I'm here.
If you love cigars, if you love golf and cigars, then you got to play in the Cigars International Golf Parties this year. Go to www.cigarsinternationalgolfparties.com. Cigars International has about 15 retail stores across the USA. And guess what, baby? We're going to be playing local fun-filled golf events with cigars, music, spirits, and I don't mean ghosts there, Steve. I don't mean ghosts when I say spirits. These fun-filled golf events could land you a free trip to St. Andrews, Scotland. But join us in May in Bethlehem, PA, just outside of Philadelphia, for the big kickoff party. 3 days of cigars, spirits, golf, fun, music. And at the end of the weekend, 4 lucky guys are just randomly going to have their ticket pulled. No athleticism needed. No golf skills needed, Steve. In fact, you could get drunk, throw up on your golf spikes, and pass out, and you still might win the trip to St. Andrews. How's that sound, Steve?
Well, not again.
Right. Log on to cigarsinternationalgolfparties.com, cigarsinternationalgolfparties.com for more information. All right. One of my favorite things, Spike, is when my new clubs come to peel off that cellophane off the club face. It's like being a kid on Christmas morning. Equally thrilling. And I know it is for you too, because you've played some of the best golf courses in the world. Steve and I played Royal Portrush last year, home of the Open Championship, up there in Northern Ireland. And Steve managed to find the only water on the whole golf course. It was amazing, but that's a story for another day.
Yes, but we had a terrific host with Dee Dee.
Oh, wonderful. Curran Gate. Steve, there's some great new golf properties opening up across the United States this year. Tell us all about them.
Well, we can start out in Denver on the Front Range at Rodeo Dunes. Michael Kaiser's new project, or one of his new projects. The Kaisers, of course, are famous for Bandon Dunes and Sand Valley. And Rodeo Dunes is a property that eventually will have, I think, 6 golf courses and basically a new town involved in it. It's about 50 miles from the Denver airport. And about a year and a half ago, I was at Sand Valley with Michael, I remember, and I asked him, about the timetable for all of this and when is all of it going to be built out? And he kind of smiled and he said, well, not in our lifetime. But the first course, the Corin Crenshaw course, has, I believe, 9 holes open now, maybe 12. And by the end of the year, it'll be completely open. And Jimmy Craig's second course is moving right along too. I don't know if that'll be done by the end of the year, but it could be.
Steve, I have to ask you a question. Colorado, there's a lot of people may not know this. Obviously, there's a lot of high country altitude in Colorado, but there's some flat areas too. Where's this property going in?
Yeah. This is on the east side. This is on the east side of the Front Range.
Yeah, so, coming out of Nebraska.
Yeah, you have a lot of. You're going to have a lot of movement, lots of movement, but it's not the elevation that you would have at someplace like Aspen or Keystone, someplace like that.
Well, shucks, because my ball goes further at altitude.
Yeah, that's the irons in particular, the short irons in particular. It still will go a little bit farther, but it is not. It is not. You can still see the mountains, but they're not exactly in the mountains like you would think at Aspen or, like I say, Keystone, someplace like that.
Let's go down to the ocean now, because I love ocean golf. I love links golf. I love hearing seagulls and smelling that beautiful salt air. What's going on down at Jekyll Island?
Jekyll Island, Great Dunes, a terrific course. It's a course that has been renovated, and that's open again back to its original design from about 1926. Just a great golf course to play, a great resort to play, to stay in. You can stay in the old Jekyll Island Club. You can stay at the Ocean Club, which is on the ocean itself. And there's 3 golf courses there. And the Great Dunes course is going to sort of signify. It does sort of signify the reemergence of Jekyll Island as a premier golf destination. Just a lot of fun to play and a great place to be.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, let's jump on a little airplane and go back over to Ireland, where Steve and I went last year on a great trip. Can't say enough about Irish hospitality. Can't say enough about the golf courses in Ireland. And, it's a very small country. There's not a lot of room left for a lot of great golf courses. But, Steve, I hear tell that the Irish are building another golf course.
They're building one with my friends Jason Straka and Dana Fry just outside of Dublin called Kiriklo, which is going to be fantastic. Talk about a lot of movement. It's a it's a it's designed to be, as Jason and Dana would say, a classic links golf course. That's not classic links. It plays a lot inland. It actually plays the little town of Kiriklo is only has 3 roads in and out, and the golf course plays underneath one of those roads, the main road, I believe, which is called Kiriklo Road. Uh, and the interesting thing about Kiriklo too, the village, is that when I say it wants to be, they want to make it a classic links course without being a classic links course, in that they do not want they want a lot of people obviously to come and play the golf course and to enjoy what's going to be a great golf course, but they do not want to turn Kiriklo into a course or a region, the village, that's into something that's dominated by the golf course, like you would have, say, at Lahinch or someplace like that, where the golf course itself is a preeminent feature, if that makes sense.
It does, because you can juxtapose that to Ballybunion in the Southwest, which is home to 2 incredible golf courses that I've gotten to play, the Old Course and the Casheen Course. But somehow they've managed that sleepy little town of Ballybunion has retained its sleepy little Irish town. Now, there is a statue of Bill Clinton coming into town, which perplexed me. Why not St. Patrick? But they chose
Yeah.
Bill Clinton. But I could certainly see where they would not want to disturb the Irish heritage, because, folks, there's a saying, and God has blessed me to go to Ireland many times, heading back in April. Dublin is not Ireland. Dublin is not Ireland. So when you get into these smaller towns, it's really akin to going to Main Street, USA, with a population of 5,000 people in a town, and that might be a lot at sometimes. Well, Steve, I have really enjoyed you joining us on Golfing Around this week, learning about Top Golf and some of the exciting new projects. Where are you heading next there, buddy, to lose balls?
Actually, heading out Friday, going to play at a renovated Donald Ross course at a private club in Sarasota called Sarah Bay. Going to be there with my longtime friend Bob Jones IV, whose grandfather, of course, is Bobby Jones. And Bobby Jones had a particularly good relationship with Sarah Bay, as did Donald Ross, who built the course in 1926. So we're going to play there on Friday, and then probably head to Savannah later on in a few weeks, and down to Orlando, maybe up to Pinehurst, and eventually maybe out to Idaho for some things. So right now everything's just getting started, but I'll definitely keep you posted.
Yeah, make a pinky promise. We'll start having you on the Golfing Around radio show. Again, our good friend Steve Pike. Again, Steve is going to head up our Golfing Around online magazine, the Florida Southeast edition, with his great stories and editorials. And of course, Steve will join us on our radio show. And just excited to have someone of Steve's caliber. There's a lot of golf influencers out there these days. Basically, any knucklehead with a camera, kind of like the guy that the PGA Tour threw off a couple of weeks ago. And, Steve harkens back to the day of real, solid, bona fide golf journalism with his time with Golf Digest and Golf Week and the Punxsutawney. You wrote for the Punxsutawney Times, didn't you?
Yeah, Phil was my editor.
Well, there we go.